You're listening to the sound of the Coach's Corner.
I'm not secure enough to take criticism from anyone else because I have an ingrown toenail in my mind. And the ingrown toenail dictates to me that I must put you in your place when you open up your mouth to begin to size me up, because the truth of the matter is I have not sized myself up. I have not been truthful with me. And that's why I'm not free enough to sit here and listen to a criticism that may or may not apply. I must cut you off and give you a piece of my mind. And the reason why I do that is because I will never give you the power that I myself have not recognized I have. And my friend, my sister, my brother, that is the wrong way to look at life. You should be secure enough that no matter who does what and where, you could sit there or you can simply walk away without even saying a word. And you know that you've done the work in your private space. Keep pace with the race. Join me on the Coach's Corner at www.415-96radio.com for more hardcore motivation, daily inspiration, and antidotes for your spiritual foundation, because every now and then there's a leak in this old building. And as the songwriter said, my soul has got to move. Join me there at www.415-96radio.com.
You're listening to the sound of the Coach's Corner.
I want to ask you a question. Who's coaching you? Who's asking you the tough questions? Who's telling you, man, you're the common denominator to all of your issues and challenges? Who's telling you, man, all day long you become the magnetic pulse that attracts to you both good and bad? I want to be your life coach. I want to be the one that cheers you on to the finish line. I want to be the one that you ask the tough questions. And it doesn't mean that I have all the answers, but that means that you have a partner, someone who believes in you, not the you see right now, but the you can't imagine, the you that you are to become, the you are destined to be. I always say we both need the positive and the negative. It's not enough to have the knowledge of the matter, but we must have the wisdom as well. For wisdom settles it. And that's what I want to offer you as you join me on the Coach's Corner. I want to offer you the wisdom of the matter. Maybe it might be relationships, talking about our campaigns for more, for life, the dark room of our subconscious, our spiritual journey. Whatever it is, I want to be there to encourage you, to build you, to challenge you, to cheer you on to the finish line. I'm qualified to do this. Why? Because I'm you.
Thank you so much for joining us right here on the Coach's Corner on SIBN Radio. As we approach the microphone today, we admit that we have personal and professional challenges here and there, but we've bumped our head enough to bring to you the wisdoms of the matter. My name is Marcus Lett, a.k.a. The Coach, and again, thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to conclude our mini-series called Most Solutions in Life Are 2 Feet Away From Us. 2 feet, an arm's length away from us. I would be remiss if I did not say thank you to all of those of you that listen to us around the world on the various platforms where SIBN television and radio airs. Thank you so much for those that are following us on Spreaker, on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, and also for those of you that have visited the site www.415-96radio.com and also registering at our media registry site for global partnerships and collaborations at www.WeSupportSelectUSATV.com. Thank you once again also for those of you that are chiming in via email, global coverage at SelectUSATV. Don't forget our online newspaper, Paper, Paper.li, Paperly, and then search SIBN, television and radio. Let's get to work.
Don't stop the music, no.
Thank you so much for joining us for the last portion of the series. Most solutions in life are 2 feet away from us, because they truly are. And perhaps we should have a follow-up that says, why can't I see the solutions in front of me? Because every solution that we need, the initial solution is in front of us. Someone once said to me that in order to go global, you need to know 6 people. I want to really say 4. 1 from the east, 1 from the west, 1 from the south, 1 from the north. And maybe the one in the east knows someone from the west, and someone in the south knows someone from the north. But the point of the matter is, just 4 or 6 people is all you need to know to go global. Well, my philosophy is, this is not something I read in a book somewhere. This is not something I picked up at a seminar. I have found through my own personal experiences that my solutions were right there. The problem was I could not see them. My perception was everything. When I changed the way I looked at things, the things that I was looking at began to change. And this is a routine discipline that we must often practice. That's right, the ability to self-correct along the path, self-correct along the journey. One of my pet peeves is, if it is to be, it is up to me. But I must not include, or I must include my divinity. I must remember that I'm spirit, soul, and body, and not body and soul only. There is a spiritual component to man, but so often more than not, the reason why we can't see the solutions is because we're not tapped into the triune of our created being. The 4 ways that I believe that solutions in life are 2 feet or an arm's length away from us are these. Through our passion, our core interests. I redefine passion as core interest because once you train your passion, and passion must be trained, if passion is not trained, people will take advantage of your excitement and ride your energy into a whirlwind future of their own and leave you in the dust. And you'll be depleted of all your energy and synergy and even strength because you did not have wisdom in your passion. So I always rename passion core interest. Your core interest is one of the most significant ways to recognize solutions that are 2 feet away. Someone said to me the other day, I got a lot of compliments on my hair. I can't tell you how many times this person has said to me, because they do their own hair, I've gotten so many compliments on my hair. But I also have heard this person say that they wanted to create a second stream of income. So finally, I got sick and tired of being silent on the subject, and I said to the person, had you ever thought that that compliment is fueling you to relook at what your second stream of income should be? If your passion or core interest is to do your own hair, and it's really not her core interest, but it's one of the components of her core, and you can do it well, and you can do it with no effort, and you're getting compliments on it, and you're getting feedback on it, that's a clue that there is something you can change and do in the area of hair in your spare time that would bring you perhaps either greater relationships, of which we'll talk about later, or another stream of income. How often, more than not, people compliment us on the very thing that we should be focused on, but we just take the compliment at face value and continue to move on. Most solutions in life are 2 feet away from us under these 4 components: your core interests or passion, your willingness to develop personally, your associations, who you are surrounded by, and your relationships. And the last 2 series shows, we talked about passion, we talked about development, we talked about associations. Let's do a few minutes of review for those that are new. Again, your core interest, what you were naturally gifted to do. That's without the disciplines. That's without any additional skills. That's without any additional training. If you have any of the 3 that I just mentioned added to your core interests, then this by all means make you more well-rounded within the core interests. For an example, If you are a pianist and you love to sing, then your core interest in this case would be musical, to say the least. But then if you learn how to read music, if you learn how to mentor those who may play other instruments because you understand the basics of music theory, if you learn technology where you can begin to now do your classes online, you see what I'm saying? Then you now become multi-level skilled, or have skills on a multiple level that enable you now to market, that enable you now to perhaps bring in some sales, and it enables you to collaborate on some projects. That's just a small example. But tapping into your core interest is the central aspect of all of this. One of the reasons why is this. When you tap into your core interests, you release the good feelings in your brain. I won't bother you with the scientific word for that. But when you release good feelings in your brain, sort of like what you feel when you go to church, sort of like what you feel on payday, same feelings, same good feelings. Well, when you do what your core interest is, your passion is, there's a good chemical released in your body. This chemical gives you strength to now do other tasks surrounding your core passion that you otherwise wouldn't have strength to do. And so I call it, if you do a deed that causes you to feel good, you repeat that so that you can borrow some of that energy to now maybe get some other things right that would help you focus more on your core passion, such as eating or exercising or having less arguments and less drama. Protecting your core passion is a central discipline that hinges on all the other three things that we will talk about briefly. Then personal development. By all means, if I self-correct myself, if I self-correct along the path, then I myself cannot be judged by another. The reason why so many people are in denial is because, first of all, they've either been victimized or they have been overjudged or they've not had enough unconditional love. We could say that. But on the personal development tip, we must understand that it is up to me to self-correct. And one of the ways of self-correcting is the mirror of people around us. People give us clues and hints as to what we need to improve. For instance, if you got a ticket last week, that means that perhaps you need to spend a little bit more time preparing before you get into a car and take such an awesome responsibility of driving down the road. Because guess what? If you have an accident, or should you break the law for whatever reason, there's a penalty. So then another aspect of looking at the driving is that I need to be more concentrated on the task and not have my mind clouded about with other things while I'm driving. Just to give you an example. If I self-correct those things, I minimize my tickets, I minimize my risk for penalty, and I bring myself to a peace of mind or state of peace that allows me to continue using my driving privileges. Personal development is key, but many people are in denial about what they're bad at. They borrow from what they're good at to cover for what they're bad at. I need some help right there. I said they borrow from what they're good at to cover for what they're weak at. Let's take out bad. Let's take bad out of the equation, because some people, that's a trigger word. You've been bad, But they take what they're good at and cover for what they're weak at. It's okay to have weaknesses. I open up this show every single time by stating to you that I have personal and professional challenges. I have personal and professional issues. And that's not a joke. I'm for real. And I think that by me admitting it first, I hope my goal, my mission is to inspire you to be okay with having weak areas. For Christians, what we do is say we glory, or the word glory in the Hebrew means we look best when we're weak, because when we're weak, God through us and in us is strong. And so weakness to a Christian looks quite differently than weakness to the world. That being said, personal development is one of the master keys to being able to see and take advantage of the solutions that are 2 feet away. The solutions that we look for in others, the solution that we look for in other circumstances, the solution that we look for in other relationships, still the solution that we need is 2 feet away. And then we talked about associations. By all means, we put a line in the sand and said, associations are not relationships. Let me repeat. Associations, people who have not been vetted. I'll pause right there and let you think about what I just said. You just met them. You've got a good vibe. You got some chemistry. And if you're full of victimized conditioned thinking, I promise you, you're going to give too much, too fast, too soon. You're going to set yourself up for the same treatment that you have not processed that you received. I'm going to say that again. You're going to set yourself up for the same treatment that you have not processed according to your past that you received from another perpetrator. Isn't that funny? How is it that we put upon ourselves the very things that we hate that someone else did? Yes, we do. Because until we deal with the past, until we process things that have happened to us, we tend to self-inflict ourselves over and over and over again. And this is why when we meet someone, we fall, deep into whatever. You could call it love, lust. You can call it giving too much, too fast, too soon. And those associations are mislabeled. People have to be vetted before they can enter into your private circle. People have to be vetted before you can give them your business. People have to be vetted before you tell them your secrets. Everyone you meet, just because there is a moment of chemistry, there's a moment of camaraderie, cannot be trusted with who you are becoming. Let me say that again. Everyone that you meet in an association environment, friends at school, so-called associations at school, associations at work, associations in business, they cannot be trusted with who you are becoming. Because in the state that you are now, you may be in denial. But if you have someone that's vetted in your life, they can look past your denial and see your you in your future and call you forth and not judge you, but love you unconditionally because they can see beyond where you are right now. I need some help. So when we come back from the break, part number 3, relationships. How significant are our relationships as we look at and peer into those solutions that are only 2 feet away? We'll talk about that when we come back.
That you belong to me. I'm just asking, but I already know. Can't believe
You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station.
Hi, it's Jamaica Chapel, College Park, Georgia, in the house. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
Hi, this is Ted Bones calling from Richmond, Virginia, and you're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up now.
Hi, this is VJ Washington calling from Atlanta, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. So turn it up.
Hi, my name is Sonia Claiborne from East St. Louis, Illinois, by way of Columbusville, Missouri. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Turn it up.
What's good? It's your boy Joe coming from Snellville, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up.
You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station, changing the way we live. SIBN FM, powered by Summit USA TV. You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station, changing the way we live.
All right, we're talking about relationships. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the Coach's Corner. Hardcore motivation. Most solutions in life are 2 feet away from you. Number 3, this is the final in the series. And my new series is going to be I Need a Man. Yes, we are going to be releasing that, and give us maybe a week or 2 or whatever, or you can go back into the archives, iTunes, Spreaker, Blog Talk Radio, YouTube, SoundCloud, wherever SIBN Radio is airing, you can find our new series, which is going to be I Need a Man. But getting back to relationships, let's talk about that and let's finalize this thing in our last few minutes. Relationships are key to understanding that most solutions in life are 2 feet away. Now, let me just break it down as best I can in the few minutes that we have left. Relationships that we have, even today, define to a certain degree where we've come from, where we are, and where we're going. Relationships define where we've come from, where we are, and where we're going. And we should be improving on our relationships, our core relationships. Let me talk about core relationships just for a moment. Core relationships are parental relationships, sibling relationships, or family relationships. That's one of our core relationships. And the second part of our core relationships is our interested core relationships, our pursued core relationships, the people that we like or that we think we like, and the people that we love or that we say we love. All right. So with those 2 wings, hopefully we can fly into the future. But too often more than not, those 2 wings are clipped because our family relationships are hampered by things that happened in our past. People that were missing, people that said things and didn't keep their word, people that called us out of our name, people that judged us, people that misled us, people that talked us out of our dream, people downplayed our passion, and on and on and on it goes. Victimized conditioning has no limit. You know what I mean? It goes from one extreme to another, and the people that victimize you the most are the people sometimes that is closest to you. Of the 2 wings of which I spoke in relationships, the core part of those wings, the core part of those relationships being family and love interests or like interests. And those are the 2 things that cause us to be blind to the solutions that are really close to me. You know, I often hear church folks, to use maybe a silly example, I often hear church folks say what God is getting ready to do. God is getting ready to bless you. God is getting ready to do this. And what they don't really understand about God, and when you think about solutions, I want you to think about this, is that God is not doing anything. He's not doing anything. He is sitting there and he's hearing the prayers. But everything that God has done for us is done. The solution has been rendered. The problem has been solved. The blessing has been given. The promise has been fulfilled in the mind of God. He's not doing anything because his relationship with us initially is on the premise of reconciliation. In other words, in order to provide such an awesome plate of benefits, he has to look at us through the finished work of Christ. And when he looks at us, he does not look at us in the same light that we look at ourselves. And when he relates to us, he does not relate to us in the same light as those 2 wings of relationships that I just explained, as family and love interests relate to us. His relating to us should be the pivot from which we spring to be able to heal our relationships, or to be able to pursue relationships in a manner that brings peace, harmony, and unity to our lives, not chaos, division, you know what I'm saying, and disunity, if you will. Well, division and disunity is the same, right? I have some English teachers that'll be hitting me up in the email telling me, hey, disunity and that's the same word. You used it twice, you know. But what I'm saying to you is that when we look at the picture of God, he's not getting a solution ready for you. He's already provided everything that we'll ever need. It's just that because we're in this sphere of time, it seems as though that God is getting ready to do something. He's getting ready to open up a door for me. No, every door is open. Every promise is yea and amen. But it is up to us now to change how we look at things and change how we look at people so that the people and even the things and circumstances that we look at will change. Now, how do I change that? By healing my core relationships. But let me also warn you that healing your core relationships may not mean what you think it means. I often practice and teach that we have to practice OBM, opposite behavior modification. For instance, if you had a controlling mother who always insisted on her way, then the opposite, or the OBM for her, would be not to let her or allow her to control your life. Now, that's going to cause chaos, because you're going to be accused of everything in the book once you stop people's level of control in your life. But that's the price you have to pay in order to see the solutions that are only 2 feet away from you. If you always allow the same folks to have their way with you and in you and around you, you will never be able to change your perception about yourself. And it is the perception of yourself from which evolves how you see life. This is our daily struggle. This is something that we wrestle with. And the core of our perception is shaped on how others perceived us. For whatever reason, there are folks that have did you so wrong because their own self-perception, self-concept, self-confidence, self-esteem, whichever word you want to use, has been damaged. So they raised you in a damaged environment. And you have to recognize that, hey, my mom did the best that she could at the time with the information that she knew. And even if she didn't do the best, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go ahead of the problem and resolve it by looking at her in the best light possible. I need some help. But then I want to caution you that that doesn't mean that you need to be reporting to your mother every 5 minutes. See, one thing that I have learned is that the people in our lives do what they do because we've given them permission to do it. We've given them access to our hearts. And there's a biblical verse that says, guard your heart, for out of it the issues of life flow. And we have allowed our hearts to be trampled upon, if you will, in the name of family. We have allowed our hearts to be trampled upon in the name of love. What I am suggesting to you today is that if you can get your core relationships on the right, correct path, or align them to how God deals and looks at us, at you, you will find that the solutions that are 2 feet away from you become more prevalent. They become more obvious to you because you're now able to see. We can't see for the unforgiveness. We can't see for the pain. We can't see for the guilt. We can't see for the accusations. We can't see for the condemnation. We can't see for the judgmentalism. We can't see for the religiosity. We can't see for the browbeating. We can't see for the fact that we've been called every name in the book. We can't see for the misunderstandings. We can't see for the disunity. We can't see for the confusion, the chaos, and on and on and on and on, for the excuses, for the victimization. We can't see. And so that's what God is for. My arms are too short to box with some of these folks. So now I need to align my perception, my mind, my spirit, my heart, all of me, and submit myself to a God who loves me in spite of me. And he perceived me in the future while I was looking and staring at my past. He already called me a son or a daughter, a king or a queen. He already declared me rich while my circumstances say that I'm poor. He's already declared that I'm wise while my circumstances and people and friends may say that I'm a fool. He's already declared me favored while my circumstances show that I am a victim. I'm subsequent. And so to align our relationships right, we have to take the two wings, the two core parts of relating, family and love interests, and align them with how God loves me. He loves me so much that he gave. If you are not receiving from the love that you're engaged in, whether it be family, whether it be friends, whether it be a love interest, then I want to question whether or not it's love. I want to question whether or not it is really love. This is how we must look at our lives. It is not an easy way to look at our lives. You know why? Because we sometimes just don't want to do the work. And that's what this show is all about. This show is about us doing the work so that we will be able to say, you know what? I rest my case. Thank you so much for joining us. Most solutions in life are only an arm's length away. Everybody's arm is not the same size. So that's why we approximately set it at 2 feet. Most solutions in life are 2 feet away from you. The initial answer to your problem, that solution is near you. How can I see it? One said. Look at what your core passion is. Are you willing to correct yourself as you continue to develop? Who is that around you? Who have you let in that need to be shut out? And then your core relationships should reflect unconditional love that gives you the power to spring forth into your future. Follow me on Twitter if you can. My name is Marcus Salette, aka The Coach. Thank you for joining me for this series. Most solutions in life are 2 feet away. And don't forget to share this with a friend. Until next time, take care of you